A new Sony camera. Am I getting it? Am I not getting it? Will it replace my favorite vlog camera of all time? Let's talk about it in this video. Here we are with dynamic stabilization.
Dynamic.
How's it looking? Am I on a steady cam? My lens is on manual focus. I've now activated autofocus. Oh yeah.
There's a plane.
That was beautiful. Wow. Wow. Have a nice day. It's gonna be with the dynamic stabilization and also the one wheel?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the most stable footage you've ever seen in anyone's life. We've now switched to S-Cinetone. Are you excited?
It's much better.
There.
Where's your dad cam? This isn't a dad cam, this is a real cam.
Here we are in
cinematic.
Cinevlog.
It looks cinematic, I can tell.
How cinematic is it in Cinevlog?
Pretty damn cinematic.
Now, how do you feel about this cinematic vlog mode? Should we do? Let's do gold. Your favorite cinematic vlog mode?
You know, I just throw it on PP11 S-Cinetone 24 frames, but I keep it in 16 by 9. So I don't need the black bars. Sarah don't need black bars.
Hey, buddy.
Look at that.
Oh, we got the white one.
20 to 70 in white.
How are you feeling about this camera so far here?
You know what? It's a very interesting camera. It's like a little mini, it's like an A7S III with an A7R5. Like they just commingled, had a baby, and then maybe a little fling with an FX3 or FX6. Like yeah, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So Miguel's taking us to a storage facility to be murdered.
Yeah, it's, you know.
Maybe get a camera, maybe
It's
get
just a little
murdered.
bit sketch out here. But it's all right, I grew up in the hood, so if my hood radar goes off, I'll let you know. Get that, thank you. Perfect, thank you so much. All right, the moment of truth.
Let's go see if it works.
But the body looks clean.
The legends are true.
Oh wow, the service.
My review of the ZV-E1 is that if you're a content creator, it's super interesting. It just does most everything for you. So now if your vlog or your video is kind of bad, it's kind of on you. Let me disrobe the fries.
Disrobing of the fries.
Look at that.
Now this Sony camera has a few new features. One of them is the audio that I'm using right now. You now have some additional controls, and in my opinion, the audio is actually more than good enough to use. It's kind of cool that when it sees a face in front of the screen, that knows to turn the microphone in my direction, whereas if I'm narrating from behind, like this, and there's no face, I don't know, that sounds pretty good. And I've personally just been leaving it on auto, so it makes the choice for me and makes my life a little bit easier. Also, if you're a wedding photographer, my hybrid course, so how to do both photography and video as one person or maybe yourself in a second on a wedding day. My hybrid course launch special is almost over. So March 31st is the last day that you can pick up the launch special. It comes with so many bonuses, and it is designed to get you on track to be a hybrid photo video creator at a wedding day. The main benefit is obviously that you get to make more money, and you're also gonna book more weddings, and you're gonna make a better product for your couples. So it's all wins. Come on over to the link in the description below, and if there are any launch specials left, it will say the number of them. So you can pick that up until March 31st. So this camera is kind of an FX3 at a bit of a discount. It also comes with the same autofocus that you'll find in the A7R Mark V. And what that means is that it understands humans and a lot of other objects on an entirely different level. It understands when a human turns away, it can wait for the face to turn around so that it's just in focus. And I've had incredible results with the autofocus. This zoom rocker here, big fan of this. What this means, if you're shooting something like the 20mm f1.8 that we're recording this on, you basically also have a 30mm f1.8 now, because you can just zoom in and you don't lose quality. You just zoom into the frame. It's kind of really, really nice to have. Makes all of your lenses a heck of a lot more versatile. Now the question is, what makes a good vlog camera? For me personally, I like something that is lightweight, easy to bring with you, and also is just generally versatile as well. My needs for an actual out in the world camera are maybe a little bit smaller than what is capable by this camera, but it's nice to know that I have a lot of features in this camera that I can use if ever required, like no crop 4K 60. There is new stabilization in here that's called dynamic active. So I use active stabilization on all of my videos. I love active stabilization. It's kind of a step above IBIS. And now you can step even more into a space that looks like you are on a Steadicam. This camera is the same sensor and processor as the A7S Mark III and the FX3, which means you're going to get great rolling shutter performance as well as dynamic range. You also have access to all of your favorite things like S-Log3 or my favorite, S-Cinetone. There are also some other options in here if you want to just do a color grade within here, and you can actually use the Cin Vlog modes, which also give you bars here. Auto depth of field is also an interesting feature. You only get it in Program Intelligent, but it basically, if somebody was to walk into this frame, it would know that another person has entered the scene, and it would actually make the f-stop something that would accommodate both of us. So rather than just me being in nice focus and them being out of focus, it would actually put us both into focus, which is kind of cool. I don't know. All right, here's the test of that. And right now we're at f1.8. And as Matt enters the scene, f2.2, f4, f5.6, f8, f9, f10, 11. So it's chosen f11.
So it can have both of us in focus.
And now we're both in the frame. Now if I go over here, we go back to f1.8 very slowly. As you can see, there is no EVF. You get screen only, which honestly I prefer. It makes the form factor a little bit smaller, and I find myself using an EVF less and less and less and less, even in my photography. There's also nothing really watered out of this camera, so everything that you would expect to see in the menu system, including things like focus breathing compensation, it's all there. You can see on the corner here, you don't get the little, the triangle jangle. You get a nice thing that's not gonna step on your audio whenever it moves around. And another very exciting thing for me, when you start recording, you can see right here, you get a red tally light. I like that a lot, especially if you're filming something and your camera's off on the other side of the room, maybe you're using wireless audio. It's nice to have a visual indicator that you are in fact recording. You can also now control your settings right here. So you can touch. I'm not very good at doing it in reverse, but you can touch your f-stop or your shutter speed there, and you can actually adjust it within the LCD, which is really, really nice. You get a full-size battery, which I'm darn happy about. So you get all the battery performance you would expect from something like your A7S Mark III. And the downside, maybe to make this, if you're bridging this into a wedding camera, it's very nice to have 2 card slots for that backup redundancy. This camera only has 1 card slot, which is a bit of a bummer, but it is to be expected. Now, one of the differences between the A7S III, the FX3, and this camera here is 1, well, it's the price, but 2, the way that it deals with heat. So if you're looking for a camera that you're gonna run out in the hot sun, and you're gonna run at 4K 60, and you're gonna do a 1 hour long wedding ceremony, this is not the camera for you. It will overheat in that scenario. But if you're looking for a camera to record short clips, and you know that you're gonna be doing that maybe in 4K 30, and you're not going to be doing a 3-hour rolling shot, although maybe it can. Gerald did some tests, and at room temperatures, they honestly impressed me. Just make sure you set the heat threshold to high, and actually when you start the camera up for the first time, it will prompt you with that to change. So this camera here, I am very, very excited about it. Oh, there's Matt Johnson at the door. Let's ask him for his thoughts.
I think that I need to test the overheating because Texas is very, very hot 90% of the year.
You heard it here first.
Texas is hot.
Oh, a tiny little can of thing. Oh, we're sideways now.
Who are you talking to?
This is this camera here. I'm pretty happy with it. Cool. I think for my purposes of doing random video clips and not doing long rolling coverage in the state of Texas, I'm pretty happy. This will be a camera that I will likely be purchasing to do my video needs. It will not replace any of my wedding photography cameras or my wedding video cameras, but it is a very nice camera to have in your bag as a backup, especially if you're doing video. That's all for me today. We're gonna do a podcast now.
Backups of your backups of your backups.
And then when you back up your car, my parking sensors are broken because I got into an accident on the way to a wedding. It wasn't my fault. I got hit from behind. I was still an hour and a half early for the wedding. Leave early for weddings, people, and make sure your tripods aren't on angles. Until next time. And if you're watching this before March 31st, don't forget to get the hybrid course. There's still a few launch specials available, and if you get one, you get all of the bonuses you see on the screen here. See you next time. Goodbye.